Welcome back to the Varkha Chalani channel. Today is the day of question and answers with Dear Varkha. Here goes. I was mistreated by my parents as a child. They always loved my brother more, and even though I'm an adult now, I still feel hurt when I think about it. How do I let this go? To err is human. Forgiving will leave you sane and realistic. Listen again. Forgiving is not divine. Forgiving will leave you sane and realistic. What do I mean? Forgiving will leave you sane because when you forgive, your mind will free up of all the pain you may have suffered because of what your parents did to you, and unfortunately because of the favoritism they may have shown your brother. The sanity will come because when we constantly blame and hate the people who've done injustice to us, our mind is consumed and constantly reverberates with all the pain. Not only that, we keep on reliving the hurt, and that can not allow us any mind space to focus on the present of what is before us. So forgiving will leave you sane to free up your mind to pursue things which are more important, because unfortunately the past cannot be undone. The second part of the adage, forgiving will leave you realistic to accept certain aspects of parents, which is that they are, like all of us, simply human beings, imperfect, mistake making and erroneous. And the sooner we take parents out or off the pedestal and stop treating them like gods or goddesses, the more we will be realistic about their imperfections and their humanness. Parents cannot love their children equally. Yes, it's the unfortunate truth, because to love their children equally, they would have to be perfect people. And nothing could be further from that, because humans and parents are prone to have favorites, are prone to have biases and prejudices and soft corners. The more realistic you are about this unfortunate truth, the better you will be able to deal with it. And not only that, when you become a parent, you will, in the know of the fact that you are human as well, will bend backwards to possibly not do to your children what your parents unfortunately did to you. Take care and good luck. I have a stormy relationship with a close relative. How can I resolve the situation? How would you define stormy? Do you not talk to each other? Do you ignore each other whenever you're in the same room? Do you have heated arguments and discussions? Do you constantly get into altercations? The definition of stormy needs to be understood. But besides and beyond that, you need to ask whether this relative is also interested in forging better relations with you. The reason I say that is one-way traffic in relationships is detrimental. Where a person is the only one making the effort to help the relationship thrive will usually be the one taken for granted, making unnecessary compromises, constantly subjugating himself or herself. So you also need to be aware of the fact that your relative wants the relationship as much as you do. And the best way to know that is to talk about it, because a good relationship is not one which is independent, nor is it one which is dependent, but a good and healthy relationship is one which is interdependent. He or she should want the same thing that you also want. Once that is in agreement, both of you can take the trouble to make the relationship a more fulfilling, a more satisfying, and definitely a happier one for yourselves. Good luck. How do I develop resilience or grit? Learn to be anti-fragile. What do I mean? Have you noticed that most of us are constant complainers, whiners about things? We don't accept reality. So we know we live in a city which is extremely hot, and we keep complaining about how hot it is. When we travel, we do know that the places we are going to travel to may be cold, and we are constantly whining and complaining about how cold it is. Acceptance is the first step towards grit, determination and resilience. A large part of our resilience hasn't been developed because of the flawed parenting that possibly many of us have been subjected to. I see so many people being so finicky and picky about what they will eat and what they will not eat. What is this? It is really a parent who has constantly entitled the child to believe that he or she does not have to cooperate and go along with what is being served at the table. So you will see mums scurrying around preparing special dishes for their children, and then these same men grow up and you'll see wives scurrying and making different kind of dishes for these entitled men. How can you develop grit and resilience when at the sniff of some discomfort you constantly scoot and you try and get different things just because it doesn't suit you? So resilience and grit is not something that you and me are born with. We build it. We build it with practice, where we believe that we can tolerate discomforts, we can face dissatisfactions. So a lot of parents make life too easy for their children. And these same children, when they grow up and become adults, become very poor, able, cooperative, collaborative people, because they're not able to cope with the fact that today life has not promised them a rose garden. The red carpet is not going to be laid out when they walk into the world, and the world honestly doesn't give a shit about them. So resilience, grit, determination are learned behaviors. They're learned when we put ourselves through a little bit of sufferance, we put ourselves through a little bit of discomfort and dissatisfactions. That to me is building emotional muscle. Take care and good luck. Thank you so much for watching the Varkha Chulani channel. Please do write in if you have any questions that you'd like answered. My email ID is varkha@varkhachulani.com. Please do hit the like button if you like what you hear. Do share my video, and of course, continue to subscribe. Till next week, it's goodbye and thank you.